You're watching Famous Games on YouTube.
And good morning. Welcome back. I want to apologize for a little sort of false start from earlier, but we are back and live after some slight technical difficulties. I was talking, I did a previous version of this video that didn't quite work out. So let me talk about what I was talking about then. I want to talk about this website for a second called Tip Ranks. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. This is a website that it sort of rates different analysts. So if I get out of the way here for a second, we can take a look here. Tip rank. So it will tell you who the highest rated analysts are, and then it also will show you what the top rated analysts are talking about and what stocks they like the most. So it's an interesting website. I'm not sure if I'm a free member. I think I'm a free member. Let's just see if this works here. Maybe I'm not a free member. Anyway, this website will tell you who the best analysts are as far as ratings go, and what stocks they pick. So it's kind of interesting to see what people are picking out as far as stocks and whatnot. It's called Tip Ranks. I recommend checking out that website. So here we are with Square, and yesterday we had a put buyer. He was buying the July 45 puts. You can see here on the screen it shows open interest of 16,000. Well, yesterday that was only 300. Someone came in and bought 15,300 of these options, paid 36 cents. You can see the market now is 33 bid at 36. It was a similar market yesterday. The market was 34.37, and it looked like the trade happened off. It looks like it was a prearranged trade in that they had a buyer on the other side, and they just put the trade up on the NASDAQ. And this spooked me a little bit. If you do the math, $35 times 15,000 is a lot of money, right? So that's almost $500,000 in puts somebody bought in here, which spooked me a little bit. However, the stock's bounced a little bit back today. If we look at the opening so far today, let's see if I can back myself up a little. I'm a little too big on here. Let's see if I can back myself up a little, make myself just a little bit smaller here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Maybe even smaller. Stock opened here today up $3 and then immediately faded. It's kind of it seems it's hard to say if we're going up or down, right? Because if you look at this chart here, it appears like it looks sort of bullish, right? This is, I believe, a 30-day chart. Kind of looks like we're in an uptrend. But if we go back it up a little bit to 180 days, we're clearly still in a downtrend, right? So it's hard to say what's going on. Like many stocks, this one is certainly trying to find a base. Whether it succeeds or not is another thing. We were up $3, and now it looks like we're about ready to go down on the day. I have a very simple position in here right now. I'm short the strangle in the front month. So a strangle means I'm selling a call and selling a put. So if we go to the front month options here, you can see I'm short the 61 put and the 68 call. So I sold the strangle when we were up earlier in the day. I sold these calls. You can look at my activity here. Trade history. I sold the calls for I sold one at $1.21 and one at $1.10, and then I sold the puts for $1 each. So that's $2 and let's say 15 cents. Sold the strangle for $2.15. So as we go to a black screen here, so going back to the markets we have right now. All right, the calls are 40-cent bid at 51, and the puts are 136 at 143. So they're biting at our heels on the put side here, but we are a winner so far. It looks like the strangle's offered at 190 right now, and we sold it at 215. So we'll monitor the situation here, but that's the only position I have on right now. If we look at the Greeks for it, being short 2 strangles, you can see collecting 115 a day. It shows the delta at 30 right now, but this is the important part here. As we go higher, the delta gets shorter, of course, and as we go lower, the delta gets bigger. The delta is going against us because we're short gamma. You can see here on buying power effect, if the stock were to take off to the upside, well, all of a sudden, I need to have more capital out there, right? To the downside, we know the lowest it can go to 0, but to the upside, it has an infinite upside. So we do have to monitor this position. If the stock were to take off to the upside, we would have to do something to defend it. And in fact, we could do something right now, something like buying we could pay 5 cents for the 77 calls. That would just stop us out at 77 on this. Don't necessarily want to do that. I'm bullish long term in the stock here, so I don't really mind actually maybe buying a call, something like buying a September 65 call, something like that while we're down here, because I definitely am bullish on this stock and believe it's going to go higher over time. So if I were to buy, let's say, one of these calls, when we're kind of on the low of the day right now, it might not be a bad purchase. So let's take a look here. I had this like wacky position on coming in today. So SEP 65 call would work. What I'm looking at here is I had positions in some of these other options to avoid the getting hits against me on the pattern day trading rules, because this account is under 25,000 right now. I don't want to be buying and selling the same strike. So I'm looking at strikes that I've already closed today to be aware of which strike I'm buying. So let's take a look. So when I look here, I see that I've already traded the SEP 67 call today. So I want to try to avoid buying that one, but I could buy the SEP 65 call. So if I go to SEP 65, 845 at 875. It's kind of a wide market. You can see there's more of an open interest here in the SEP 72s, but it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe I'll just leave it for the moment, see what happens. I mean, the other thing is we could also look to the downside to stop ourselves off on the puts here. If it starts to cruise lower, we could buy something like the 53 put, but I'm not going to do that either. I'm just going to leave it for the moment here, as we seem to be sort of in a holding pattern. Let's buy one September call, I guess. So the midpoint here, according to so 840, it's 840 at 875. So I could put maybe like an 850. That's a pretty wide market, but I could put like an 850 bid in here, let's see, and see what happens. Buy one, pay 850. Now it's showing them offered at 850, right? So maybe 845. Buy one, pay 845. Let's try 840. Buy one, pay 840. And it doesn't like, why does it not like that? You not have enough available buying power. Maybe it's requiring all the buying power for this short strangle right now. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure why that is, but we will leave it for the moment. I like the simplicity of just having 2 strangles on right now. It's kind of fun. So that's where we are kind of right now with that position. Let's take a quick look at VIX Central here, and we'll check out the VIX term structure real quick before I leave you today. And term structure looking pretty healthy, right? It looks kind of, let me get it sort of move out of the side here. It looks kind of back to normal, right? You can see if it's not going to inundate me with ads here. We can see a downwardly sloping curve, which is nice to see. It is going to inundate me with ads here. We see a downwardly sloping curve, which is nice to see. We see contango here of 3.49%, and thus pretty healthy curve here. If we go back to our charts of major indices, stuff looking okay.